you will learn about tell, seek and flush, three important methods in file handling. The first method, tell, you already know that whenever you do file handling programs, we need a file handle, that is the cursor object, which moves whenever you read or write content in a file, right? So at one point, if you want to confirm or you wish to know in which byte or which position your cursor is currently placed, you should use the tell function. So the tell function returns the current position of the file pointer, which byte it is placed in. So how to use that? The syntax is the file object, that is f. Suppose you declare f equal to open, then f.tell. F.tell will return the position. You have to store that in a variable and print it on the screen. It will show you where it is. Then the next method is the flush method. Whenever you make some changes in a file, the changes in that have to be made in a file are temporarily stored in a file buffer, and it is not immediately reflected in the file. So if you open that file when the process is going on, it will not actually, suppose you are writing in a binary, a text file. Before closing the file, you try to open it in File Explorer and see what is the content inside. You won't be able to see anything. Why? Because the changes made in the file will be inside a buffer area, a temporary storage area. And the changes are permanently done only when the file is closed. Now, to avoid this, if you want for any reason the changes to be immediately reflected in the file from the buffer, then you have to forcefully write the contents to the file. That is the use of flush. So how will you do this? The file object, that is f or fh, whatever you have declared, dot flush open close bracket. Let me show you an example of how this functions work. Okay. There is a text file called myfile.txt, mystory.txt. I will show you how this works. See, there are 4 lines of a story and I am going to read some content from the file mystory.txt. Now after reading some content, I wish to know which position my cursor is right now. So in order to do that, I can print f.tell. Tell will give me the position of the cursor. Okay. See, it shows 17. Why is it 17? Because the cursor has moved 5 plus 2, 7. Yes, in the same line, it has moved this many positions, and after that again it has moved some number of lines. So finally my cursor is now in the 17th byte. Okay, so this is how you need to get the current cursor position using f.tell. Now, what is the use of f.flush? Say for example, let me open that mystory.txt, the same file, in append mode. Okay. Now I write f.write of some content, then again f.write of, then slash n. Okay. Now I have written 2 lines in which file? mystory.txt. Now let me open mystory.txt and check if it is written. See, the 2 lines which I typed right now is not reflected inside the file. Why? Because whatever changes you make in the file is temporarily stored in a buffer. Only when you close the file it is done. Or if you don't want to close the file but you want the contents to be written forcefully, we want Python compiler to immediately do the changes, then give f.flush. Now I'll open the file and check if it is written. See, I didn't close the file, but the content has been written. Why? Because I gave f.flush. So f.flush will force the content into the file. Next is the seek method. What is the seek method? If you want to place the cursor in a particular position, say for example, you have given a read function and the cursor has come below somewhere. Now you want to place the cursor in some particular position again, back to a particular place. then you need to use the seek function. Now, what is the syntax of a seek method? This is a very, very important question in the board exam. So, you have to give file object dot seek, and within brackets, you have to pass two arguments. What are the two arguments? The first one, offset. Offset means how many bytes, the number of bytes you wish to move the cursor. Reference mode is from which position. Reference mode has three types. Reference mode is a number which has values 0, 1, 2. So if you want, say for example, when you say file f1.seek of 10, 0, 10 is the number of bytes, 0 is the beginning of the file, which means from the beginning, move the cursor 10 bytes. So when you say f.seek of 30, 1, from the current position, move 30 bytes. So when you give f.seek of minus 10, 2, it means from the end of the file, move minus, because you have to go in the opposite direction. Because you reach the end of the file, you cannot go forward. So minus 10. So this is how you use the seek method to move your cursor to a particular position. But in this reference mode is not compulsory. When you don't mention the reference mode, it automatically refers to the beginning of the file. So for any reason, if you want to place the cursor at the beginning of the file, you just have to give f.seek of 0. I will also show you how that works. Say for example, it is mystory.txt. Now I'm going to print what is there in mystory.txt. Okay. See, if we could open mystory.txt, then print f dot read, maybe read line. One line I will read. Then one more line. Then the everything I'm reading. Now where is the cursor? The cursor has gone to the end. Now if I try to read something, what will happen? Nothing is getting printed. Now for any reason, suppose I wish to place the cursor to the beginning of the file, I need to give f.seek of 0. Now I'll give f.read of 5. See what happens? It will start reading from the beginning. Suppose I place the cursor in the 10th byte. Now when I give f.read, it starts reading from the 10th byte because the cursor has been placed in the 10th byte, and from there the cursor has read. So this is the use of the seek method. What is the syntax of seek method? f.seek of offset, reference mode. Right? Hope you understood the use of these three functions. Thank you.